Hello, this is Wendy with Parenting Through Ascension. I hope this sound is okay. It's rather breezy out here. I've been walking for a while and thought I'd stop under the sun, sitting on a big rock. Whoop. Up at my favorite spot. I love this place. I was just kind of compelled, I was compelled to come up here and merge some timelines. I just brought in about 110 timelines. This one being the 111th, now the first, not first as in existed first, but first as in first and foremost. This reality is where I need all of me to be. And I think for some of us light workers, not for everybody, but I think for some of us light workers, that's what we need to do, is we need to not be spread out at all. And I know, of course, we're infinite. We have this infinite power, and ultimately you get high enough up, this is all happening in the blink of an eye simultaneously. There's no past, present, future. Well, there's only present. There's no past, there's no future. But for these purposes, because I'm not up there, not that high, and won't be for a long time, which is great. I plan on having a lot more adventures before I rejoin Source. And of course, then you can always decide to do more after that. Like I said, there's no past or future, so it's all perfect. But for these purposes, being in this, still existing in this rather linear timeline, they say it's not, from point A to point B anymore. And I can feel that. It's definitely an upward spiral. And if you imagine those, you ever seen those staircases, or like the Escher prints, if you're as old as me, where they're perpetual. Like somehow he manages to draw like a staircase that just goes around. It seems to go up and then just comes back down, and but in reality, your momentum is always going up in a spiral, and we're always evolving. And so even though we feel like we're coming back to the same point, and we are in a lot of ways revisiting things to get that next layer of everything, to strip each layer away, we are evolving each time we come around, and so we're seeing new things. And so the timeline is a spiral upward. Let's see, the wind's gonna pick up on me now. So we are in this upward spiral time. But for these purposes, I still feel so many, and a lot of people are experiencing this right now, all these other timelines going on. It's not our past lives, it's all these other simultaneous lives we're living at the same time, and they could occur in they could be occurring in what we think of in this reality as the past, or even the future. If you've ever had flashes of yourself and you're like, whoa, that was like a sci-fi movie, it's you in the future, in our understanding of it, but it really is happening all at the same time. And so what you're doing is you're tuning in to these other lives, and because we are multidimensional beings, because we're infinite, because we're divine, and we are all at the same time, and we're tapping into that, we're remembering that it's becoming easier, and we're not doing it intentionally necessarily, right? Like, it's not like I meant to have a flashback of a life in Roman times while I was getting the mail. It just happened. And so it's just happening because it's becoming so much easier, because we're tapping into our infiniteness, our infinite nature. Where is it? It's in my eye. And so I had just kind of stood under the sun at the top of this beautiful view, and just set my intention to call in these other timelines that are going on at the same time, that are maybe distracting me, keeping me from stepping into all of me here. And so I pulled all that in, and the wind like really picked up on me again, so I knew it was going on, and it was really cool. And I feel like I definitely feel like I'm in a tower. If my understanding of a tower moment, if you've heard that term, if my understanding is correct, I kind of understand it as the meaty part of a purge, right? Like you're just in the muck, you're wading through, but you're no longer like I think when we first start out, tower moments really aren't tower moments because we're not feeling the tower effect. It's more like wallowing in the mud, right? And so, but when we get to a point where we're like, yes, like I can purge this finally, like let's just do this, then that's where the tower moment comes in, because we're observing, we're allowing it to happen, we're looking, and this may not be the intent of the term at all, but this is how I understand it, is we're looking at it, basically we're looking out from a tower and watching it occur, but it's not affecting us so deeply that we can't function. And that's where we need to get to this place, right, where we can just, okay, good, another purge, let's do it. But hey, I've got 4 kids who still need me, and there's nothing I can do about that. And you can say, oh, you're manifesting distractions all day long, but they've got their journeys too, right? And so I've learned to let go of that taking responsibility for everybody else's actions, because that's exhausting and it's heavy and it's ridiculous. Everybody else is got their own path that they chose as well. And let's be honest, you cannot control anyone else, and you don't want to, because that's not what we're doing here. And so I just wanted to share that. We just got home from 2 days of driving. My body is thanking me, and at the same time going, oh, 2 days sitting in the car. But yeah, timelines. Time. It's very enigmatic. It's a pretty incredible journey this is opening up to. Who knew? 6 years ago, when I was curled up in my bed and just wanted to be taken in any way, shape, or form, I never could have imagined that I would be here, feeling this infinite power, feeling this divine, feminine, masculine, balanced power that I can just open up to. I can just step into it. There's no door in the way anymore. There's no barricade. There's no barrier. There's no block. It's just there. And I admit I look forward to being able to just step into it and staying there. But that is not conducive to what I came here to do right now. I can't do that yet. Because I'll tell you, I've seen what it looks like, and the world isn't ready for it yet, but we'll get there. If you're feeling this too, we're so close. We're getting really close. I mean, timeline wise, linear time wise, it may be a few years yet, but we're talking 2 years. 2 years max is what I'm feeling. 2 years max, and I'm not kidding you. It's going to be like, in a good way, like all the Avengers movies, and not just this guy was super soldier created, these people are aliens, this other person's a billionaire. Everyone is going to be stepping into I don't care who you are, a homeless person in a cardboard box, I don't care. You're going to be stepping into your power, because it just won't matter. Station in life, age, sex, gender, orientation, sexual orientation, none of that, religion, none of it's going to matter anymore. We're going to realize that we're all humans, and that it's time to come together to really enjoy. We've been doing the healing, you guys. Man, have we been doing the healing. And yes, a large group of us have been doing the healing for the entire planet. That's what we chose to do, okay? The other people, the other souls chose to come here to experience it. And so we have to let go of any bitterness or resentment about that and just allow that to be, because it's beautiful. We are helping these souls grow and growing ourselves at the same time. So I think that's all I've got. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.